Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So Aquarius, before I even get into talking about like what reading I'm going to do, I was sitting here and I was just kind of like, I do my little mantra, get ready, clear the energy. And then I just kind of sat in quiet for a while before, I prepared myself to start talking and doing your reading. And I didn't want to come out of it. It was really an interesting kind of state I found myself in, I just like to try to focus on your energy and kind of try to connect with it. And, I want to say that I kind of felt like you want to meditate or you want to sleep in. It was almost this sense of not wanting to move out of something once you found kind of comfort and rest in it. A very sense of peace and quiet as well. So, it could even be like your life may be quite hectic even. And the little moments that you have where you can just take a second and it's just quiet. It's just like, oh my God, it's quiet. Just give me 5 minutes of that, and you don't want to lose that. It was a really unique, kind of, I'm still sort of in it too. Like, almost like hard to get this going. I honestly feel like and I'm trying to think like, okay, when have I experienced feelings like that? I've often experienced feelings like that when I'm either really involved in something that takes a lot of my time and effort, concentration. It almost could be something that's pulling on you from like all of the different elements of yourself, like physical exertion, mental exertion, emotional investment, and it could be a workspace, like there could be a lot going on in a workspace or in your personal life. And it's like, then you get your 15-minute break. So then, okay, you take that 15-minute break. And once you're able to come down, it makes it so hard to get back in there. Like, oh my God, I have to go back and do that. I don't know why I'm feeling like that. So yeah, I'm really feeling that in your energy. So maybe that's something you're going through right now. And I'm having difficulty pulling out of it. Come on, I'm gonna do this reading. All right. Actually, just the clapping, maybe even doing that for yourself. Like, kind of, you can do it. All right, Aquarius, let's go, let's go. Like you need something to snap out of when you hit those moments of rest and peace and tranquility and calm and nothing is pulling on you. When you start to feel that, like nothing is pulling on you, it's hard to get back into the game. Do a little pep talk, clap it out. It's so funny. So Aquarius, I have more. So what I'm doing in this reading this week, it's one of my favorites. What the hell is your deal, man? And it's the mask that you wear. I find these so interesting. They are just like peeling back layers of an onion. I mean, I do these often. I haven't done one for probably a couple of months. I'm sorry, there's something in my eye and it makes my vision kind of blurry in this one eye when I blink. But we're always changing, and you're definitely in an energy that I've never picked up personally with you guys. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm going to use all the wild unknown cards with that because I find I can get kind of like really intuitive and in-depth messages with that. So this week we're looking closely at you guys, and just sitting in the meditative state. Yeah, really produce that with Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. So we're gonna see who you really are, the mask that you hide behind, why you hide your true self, how this affects your relationships, advice for you, and possible outcomes should you follow the advice. Oh, Lily is a good girl. She's a good girl. So yes, the little doggo Lily is here for your reading. And her little Beth. That's a good girl. It's not really little, it's quite big. They sell that like for a big dog. I'm thinking, I don't know. If the big dog had a personality like Lily, they'd need a king-size bed. Lily doesn't get into little beds. Okay, who you really are, Aquarius. The peacock. Wow. You're highly in tuned. So even like the energy that's coming, it's just this feeling of like so much and then you need a break. It might even be like intuitively, you could just be like hitting it all off right now in terms of dream state, even meditation. Maybe there's a lot of downloads coming in. So it could even be like I found when I was able to just kind of sit, I wanted to meditate into nothing, you know, where the mind is just shut off and it's just peace. So because I get this with that, like really in tune, like almost like an antenna, and tons of downloads. But this is also, the peacock is someone who's also looking really, really good. I kind of get a bit of a 9 of Pentacles with this card as well. Strutting your stuff. This is who you really are. But it's not necessarily something that you're showing, because I feel like when we ask who you are, that's the part that really most people are not seeing, or you're not displaying actively. So you have a lot of value here. You maybe play down your looks right now as well with the peacock, if this is who you are, but there's a mask. Sometimes the masks actually, I think you guys have even pulled that in these readings in the past, where the mask and who you really are very similar. So sometimes, you know, you're not protecting any element of yourself, but let's see where this goes. The mask you're hiding behind, the fire ant. Oh my God. See, that's the energy. That's the energy that it felt like, you know, that you try to get away from. Not, okay, not that you try to get away from. When you dip out of it, it's just so quiet. Oh my God. I just want to sit here for 5 minutes. And then you can't dip into it again. So there's something you're involved in that's taking a lot of your energy. Maybe you have a lot of different projects coming at you from different angles, a lot of different responsibilities. But it is, again, it's that feeling like whatever you're involved in, it feels like it's your physical, your mental, and your emotional investment is all being tugged at here. So it can feel quite exhausting. I told you I'm upstairs. It's the cat. He's like a neat boyfriend. Oh my God. Always calling, always texting. I'm up here. Oh, you have a peacock. Oh, okay. Why you hide your true self? The bee. Okay, something very creative here. Something very creative and very unique, very holistic, very wonderful, very nurturing, very natural. But I really get a lot of creativity from this bee. Okay, but the center of attention. Boy, oh boy, what's going on with you? It's almost like you have the capacity to immediately become the center of attention in things. And I don't think, like, when you are, okay, you're there, you're in it, you're doing it. But then as soon as you come out of it, almost even the feeling of like someone, you know, standing at a podium. At a news conference. That's really different, but that's what I'm kind of getting, like standing at a podium at a news conference, or standing at a podium doing some sort of a talk, and you're fielding all these questions from people, and you have to be careful because it's on the record about what you say and how you say it. So yeah, like really, but in a sense, like whenever someone is in that position, you know that they're talking around the conversation often. Like a lot of times you won't get direct answers. But I feel like though for you, I mean, it doesn't feel political. It feels more like there's something creative here that you're protecting. This creativity has a lot to do with you and what you receive in terms of downloads. I think you play down a lot of, you know, how much is really going on inside here. There's a lot too. I feel that this almost feels like you're a hot commodity. And I mean that in terms of whatever environment or environments this could be. It could be many different environments. It could be like work environments. It could be social environments. It could be the community. It could be dating. It could be like a ton of different things. And you're feeling all of this, like you're doing it, but it's not where you want to be necessarily. How this affects your relationships. The deer. Well, this really has a, you know, I'm going to say it. This feels like you peek in, like you're peeking in on relationships. I feel like you're the very stable, or that could be another reason why you have like the mask you're hiding behind. Oh, you make yourself look like a bit of a hot mess. Well, you don't make it. I mean, it looks like that. It looks like you got a lot going on. It's overwhelming. But I think you almost do that to kind of deflect things. Because this card to me, like how this affects your relationships, you are actually the stable, the very capable, the very nurturing. The deer, to me, I kind of get like the feelings of the Mother of Pentacles with that. You are the footing. You are definitely, yeah. But, you know, it's like looking in on relationships. You don't necessarily invest a lot of yourself in them. And I think you deflect them by perhaps appearing or seeming more overwhelmed by what is going on in your world than you really are. I'm just too busy today. I can't do that. Actually, I used to do this a little bit at work. It's really good at it. My boss always thought I was overwhelmed, but I got everything done and it was great. But you know how to balance that, right? Because there's a key to that too, even if this is your work environment, because if they put more and more and more and more and more on you and you just keep dealing with it and dealing with it and dealing with it, you're going to get more and more and more and more. So I can actually, the way this is coming around, I can relate to how I eventually learned to deflect. You know, yes, you are capable. You don't have to drop the ball on whatever you're doing. And I don't think that you are, but you can sound like this squeaky wheel, like, holy crap, I can't really do much more. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. I can't do it. I hope your boss ain't watching, because they're going to go, what? I thought Aquarius was like busting at the seams here. Okay, advice for you. The oyster, keep it private, keep it yours. No, you know what? Whatever you're doing because it's the right thing to do for your energy. I like it. Because your advice to you is, I feel like too, is to look into the deeper things around you. Is to possibly, you know, deal with whatever it is that you need to deal with right now. Maybe possibly looking more overwhelmed than you are is being a benefit to you. You might even get energies that come towards you. Like there might even be, you know, people, more personal relationships that are kind of looking in on you and checking on you. How are you doing? How are you doing with all of this? I think that's actually good. I think that's good for you. Advice for you, I think too, is to recognize there's something really valuable within you. And that's the other type of deflection, right? Like I noticed that at work. It just seemed like a lot of people didn't know how to organize stuff, plan ahead. My biggest problem was when I had everything planned and everything was good, and then something got thrown in and I had to change my day. I did have trouble with that because it was a bit OCD with everything. But this is like you're protecting that. You're really doing it because there's a lot of value here. There's a ton of value. You're not letting it being taken advantage of. And I feel like you're doing that by making it look like to others that I can't really do much more. I'm going to break down here. It's pretty unique. Actually, I love the way this is coming out. Like, how do I can't find these kind of answers, right? Just if I was just to sit and say, let me contemplate on different aspects of humanity, or even to explain what I used to do when I was working in a very busy environment years ago. Okay, outcome if you follow the advice. Wow, the tiger. Eye on the prize. This is ooh. The mask that you're hiding behind is almost like, okay, right, there's a lot of fire going on around you. There could be a lot of conflict. There could be a lot of conflicting interests. There could be a lot of things like pulling on your energy in very different areas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, woe is me. But right now, you're doing this though, I think, because you are possibly getting the nurturance that is valuable towards you. Like it could even be help that you may not get otherwise. Like if you just ask for it, can anybody help me? I need some help with this. No, you're good. No, this is really working. It's a real sense of It's kind of working on a very, you're consciously, perhaps, but maybe subconsciously, because I'm even realizing like this reminds me of stuff that I've done in the past. And it could be subconsciously realizing that you're protecting an inner value here that could be taken advantage of if you didn't exercise it in this manner. And you kind of, actually, I would say this too, because I worked in a male-dominated industry. Like it was one woman to every, oh God, I don't know, like, it was like 99% guys, just put it like that. So, are you okay, Cindy? Do you want some help? I'm fine. It's really, it's kind of cool because your advice here is to protect something really beautiful within yourself, right? Nurture it. Realize that it's deep. It's deep in the ocean. Not everyone can get to it. And then if you follow that advice, you no longer become the target, but you become what you're targeting, right? Like all this stuff, it moves, it shifts but I feel like you're actually mutating this somehow. And this card is also talks about the divine feminine. At the bottom, you have the cobra. With the cobra and the shark. You could have some pretty interesting energies around you. Yeah, you really could. You could have energies that circle you, right? And that comes up with the fire ant. Energies that circle you, energies that have their eye on you, that are really focused on you. And, you know, it doesn't have to be so, like, this looks like, to me, a bird's eye view of a schoolyard fight kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that. It could be like, it could be people in an office space or a workspace that, you know, try to figure out different people and how they can use them to, in a way, to their advantage. But it definitely happens here. I kind of get this feeling like you don't want to get caught up or pulled into other people's, not necessarily their projects. It could be, because you might have something on your own here that you're working on. You don't want to deviate your path. And in a way, you kind of make it look like your path is on fire right now. So why would you want to come in here? Let's pull a tarot card out for this. Oh, the other thing that's coming in here too is the moon in the third eye. And this is divine feminine energy. So I feel like there's almost like maybe something that is going to be birthed in you, or you're going through some sort of transformation. You are being very protective, but in a very unique way. Like, I think energies are some energies that may otherwise come at you with their problems, or it's almost like you seem overwhelmed, so I wouldn't do that. You know, I wouldn't do that right now with Aquarius. Do one tarot card. The star. This is who you really are. The peacock and the star. Wow. Jesus. Okay, the mask you're hiding behind. The Ace of Cups and the fire ant. Oh my God. Immediately this is putting out fires. Jesus. Immediately putting out fires. Like a cup of water and the fire ants putting out fires. You're putting out, it looks like you're putting out a lot of fires. And I don't want to say that you're not busy. I mean, unless you're just completely lying about your life in some fashion here. Or maybe you are, you know, you can do that if you want. But it just, I don't know. You're putting out fires. It looks like you're putting out fires. But who you really are, you're a pretty cool cucumber. You're definitely following your intuition. You're protecting this intuition. You are, I want to say, probably fairly strategic, but this strategic energy it's not coming from, you know, like looking at people around you and trying to figure out what is their weakness here, how can I take advantage of that. This is literally like the other thing, right? This peacock, as I hold it up, it's sitting on the table looking this way. It's not even looking at the mask. So in some ways here, I think that like the strategy that you're utilizing is of self perseverance, or no, self, what's it? I can't say it now. No, what is that word? Self-perseverance? That doesn't sound right. It's not right. It's not coming out right. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? So you're protecting of self, but you're doing this through the universe. And it's actually, it's almost like there's some sort of timing going on here with the star as well. Like something kind of divinely driven. You are divinely driven right now. And I think who you also are is really, I think you've completed some healing process here. But to everyone else, it looks like you're putting out fires. But I really think you've healed something here. Why you hide your true self? You are up to something. The bee and the magician. Oh. You are the bee and the magician. You are manifesting. You are a manifestation kind of genius here. But it's different. It's creative with the bee. It is very magic. Like kind of in unexplainable ways here. I don't know if you found or tapped into something very esoteric in the last little while and you're keeping that kind of under wraps. You have a very unique way of creating and possibly creating your future. The magician is looking at the deer. The leopard is looking at the deer. You have your sights set on something here. You look like, is it, yeah, and magician, like, that's the other thing that's going on with the fire ant energy and the Ace of Cups. Like you put out fires. It's almost like you can distract people with what this hand is doing and they don't realize what this hand is actually doing. The deer, the Four of Cups. The rat. Oh, whoa. Okay. Okay, somehow you've opened a portal. Like, okay, this portal, because, okay, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing here. It's almost like, right, like there's the energy of the portal. And what I'm getting with the portal is like a wormhole. It's an opportunity in space and time to accomplish something that it's like, this is the right time. I said something about like divinity, timing could be going on here. Because I picture wormholes as things that are unstable, but then when they appear, it's an opportunity. Because if you think about a wormhole, anytime, like scientists have described it, like, I don't have a piece of paper here, but let's say I had a piece of paper and I drew two circles here, you know, and these are light years between these two circles, like hundreds of thousands of light years between them. This wormhole is created and you fold the paper and these two dots come together. There's like no time and space between them anymore, as this, like, that's what the wormhole does. It wraps this distance up. So, okay, this, again, I need a minute here with this, because that's like, it's starting to open up. And then here, like there, it's opening. And then look at peeking through the wormhole, peeking through the portal. You're observing something. I don't know if you're doing this through like astral projection. like an out-of-body experience, if you're able to see things through meditation, remote viewing. Yeah. But what are you remotely viewing? You're remotely viewing, I don't know if it's kind of like something that feels like a missed opportunity. Or even the way, now, I really have trouble with when we try to symbolize the rat as a dirty little rat. Rats are not. That's the thing, right? Okay, you're remotely viewing possibly a situation, or like you could even be stepping outside of yourself and observing you, however this is, or you're observing someone else, or someone's observing you. But I feel like this is happening because you've opened a portal here. Now, the whole idea of rats, they really got a bad rap during the was it Black Plague? And they had nothing to do with it, really. It was just the fleas. The fleas that were on them. It was actually the flea that was the one that was transporting this and making people sick. And, you know, people often won't like sewer rats and things like that. Like, they're just trying to survive in a dirty environment and they've got to compete, you know. So a lot of animals end up in that state. But I had rats as pets when I was in college. I tell you, they are the most devoted. They are the most devoted. They are highly intelligent, incredibly social. See, now that's really interesting though, because all of these things that I'm connecting to this rat that are actually true, that are not, you know, stereotypes that have been created around them, are the same kind of things that create this deer, this sort of mother of pentacles. So I get the feeling here there's even something that is stereotyped or seen in a certain way that takes the blame, but really is not to blame for what goes on around it. It's, if you get to know this rat, you actually realize that there's a lot of value here. Oh, he was such a good, one little guy's name was Ratty Ray, and he used to sit on my shoulder and he would like clean my eyebrows. He was so sweet, but he just steal my shit. He would steal my fancy soaps. I didn't know what he was doing with them, and I realized he was hiding them behind the toilet. So, okay, how this affects your relationships? I don't know if you're remotely viewing someone or someone is remotely viewing you. And it's through what I would describe as some sort of portal activity. Maybe even this fire ant and ace of cups like mask that you're wearing activated the portal. Like maybe it was a cry for help in some sort of energetic way. You know what I said? Like it's almost like it draws in how I originally a few minutes ago described as, you know, friends looking in on you. Are you okay? Are you? That's still coming through here. And it could be something that's not so mystical and esoteric as remote viewing, but you know, it could just be people FaceTiming you or giving you a call or sending you a text. And maybe it is because of something like with this rat, like just being blamed for things that really are nothing to do with you. She's a rat, the fleas, they're on you too. You're looking at me. So advice for you, the oyster. Wow, the Nine of Pentacles. Protect, 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 Aquarius. There's a depth to you that is only meant to be discovered by those or something that understands that depth. Something or someone that understands the story of the rat, really. That takes the time to get to know a rat. Outcome if you follow the advice. The Tiger and the Seven of Wands. I honestly feel like nothing can touch you. I mean, how do you touch this? Apex predator, and there's a small opening to come through. So you can't get this apex predator from behind. You can't get them on the side. You can't get them from above. There's just one little opening here. And if you're coming in because you're coming into the light, it's almost like a lure. It's like... I don't know what's going on with you, but I would protect, protect, protect. And perhaps some of your depth is starting to be shown on the surface outwardly, and that could be drawing things in, the shark and the cobra. You have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom. I do get the impression that you are managing a lot right now. I'm not even going to use a teeny tiny. I don't even have to. Like, this was already really in depth. You do. I do think you have a lot that you're balancing, that you're managing. It's holding. It's almost like it's holding back a rebirth that's meant to happen at the right time. I'm seeing like a chrysalis that's been weathering the winter, you know, like a beautiful monarch, or I think I'm hearing like emperor butterfly. Those are the big yellow ones, right? And like going into this chrysalis in the fall, and the winter is prolonged, but it's almost like the winter ends up being prolonged because there's a little bit something more extra about how this butterfly is coming out and what it comes out with. Like there's a little bit more DNA restructuring that's going on here. But it's almost as if someone were to walk by this chrysalis in this storm, like it should have been warmer by now, but it hasn't come out. It's almost like you can start to see through it, and there's almost like sparkles where you would think, I'm just going to see like the patterns of a monarch butterfly. You see the patterns of the monarch butterfly, or they see the patterns of the monarch butterfly, but there's like little sparkles and things that are going on with it. And it's as if something needs to happen with this. And by your advice with the Nine of Pentacles is and look at how these feathers are all wrapped around here. You protect, you protect, you protect, you protect. But in this protection, you're also nurturing with the Nine of Pentacles. You're also nurturing. You let the world keep thinking that it's overwhelming you. You can't deal with it. I'm putting out so many fires. Oh, woe is me. Oh my God, you're so cute right now. Anyway, it's a distraction with her having a bed right beside me because she's so freaking cute. The outcome, if you follow the advice, honest to God, nothing can touch you. I get that with this card. This is a defense mechanism that. No. So what am I going to do in the extended? So what I'm going to do in the extended, I'm going to look at, I don't know how pertinent this is to you, but we'll see where it goes. It could be very interesting. I might leave this little question open a bit for you, because in the extended, I ask how to improve your relationships. I think with you in the extended, though, I'm just going to look at relationships around you, because that's very interesting here. There's something about, if somebody looks hard enough, they'll see the real you. But if they don't, it's just the rat. Okay, and then what would your deeper self tell you about your mask you're wearing right now? And how to release your true potential. That's what I'm going to look at in the extended. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.